All right, and we are recording. Good morning, happy Wednesday, happy Product Wednesday. Now, as all of you know, or probably know, because we all are part of this business, we don't have a huge, ginormous product line, which I absolutely love. I came from a place that had, I think, well over like, I don't know, 400 or 500 products. It was just insanity, right? We have a very strategically formulated product line to help all of us with our health and wellness. We all know about our detox and restore products. They are hands down my favorite, our Regenix. And then a big chunk of what we offer is a CBD line. Now, you'll hear our founder say all the time that we are not a CBD company, right? I think because he doesn't want to be known for that, because we are so much more than CBD products. But the way that we go about our CBD is very different, I think, than a lot of other companies as well, where we really stress the fact that if you're detoxing with our Daily Detox Plus or Daily Detox, you're really giving your body kind of a clean slate for the other supplements and products that you use, to work well inside your body, like CBD. Our company does see the benefit in CBD though. I think, if I'm just being honest, and this is just my opinion, I don't know how to word this. Our detox is not sexy. And I'm sorry to use that word, or that's just what it is, right? Like, I don't feel like it appeals to a lot of people unless they know that they need it. So where I think the CBD comes in line is it's something that everybody knows that they could promote. It's something that I think is very well known about. People know the benefits of it, or they're starting to. I know the FDA has approved a medication for a specific form of epilepsy for children that is composed of CBD. So more and more people are becoming more and more aware, and I think it's something that definitely gets the attention of a lot of people. And where I'm going with this is when I'm sharing about our company, if someone doesn't know that they need our Daily Detox or know the benefits of Restore or our Regenix product, they know that they could use CBD, right? So it's something that I feel like everyone can use. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit about our CBD tincture that we have right now, because there have been lots of questions lately. Because if you have been using our CBD products and you have gotten a bottle, I don't know, in the last few weeks, probably, most likely you have noticed that it is a little bit different than what we had before. Now, we didn't really announce this. There wasn't really anything else put out because we didn't change our formula, so to speak, as much as we were just improving it per the field's request. So the field has been asking for terpenes, and you'll have to bear with me because I am new to CBD like a lot of us are. For those of you who don't know me, I am a nurse. I was a nurse for 12 years. I worked in a hospital prior to getting into network marketing. But I'll just be honest, I was one of the people that had a stigma against CBD. And I shouldn't say against CBD. I just didn't think that I needed it for anything. I had been pitched by a lot of people about CBD from any company you can imagine, right? And it was one of those things that and don't get me wrong, I mean, I support anyone in network marketing. Like, if you're in a different company, you might want to approach me because I'll probably buy something from you. I love anyone that works in this industry, but CBD just wasn't something that I felt like I needed. It was one of those things where every time it was approached to me, I would get, it'll help with anxiety, it'll help with chronic pain, it'll help with depression. And I was like, well, I don't have any of that. Like, it's not something that I feel like I need. When I started using CBD, it was in August when I partnered with Navan. I purchased a $4.99 kit. My products arrived. I ate a gummy right away just because it was good. It tasted good, right? But as I started using the products, what I found was I really felt like my best self. And I don't know how else to explain that, but when people ask the benefits that I've had or how I feel, the only thing I can ever say is I feel like I'm living my best life, which sounds cliche, but that really is what it is. I notice I'm not short with my kids. I notice I don't get frustrated at long lines. Or traffic. Through this pandemic, whatever you want to call it, in the last few weeks, I really am okay. I haven't changed our habits, more or less. I mean, we are staying home when we're quarantined, but I feel like a lot of people are in panic mode and there's so much anxiety, especially on social media and things like that. And I'm good. Like, I really am just taking it one day at a time. And I noticed for my kids as well, I have, my older one, I don't know if I've noticed a whole lot of difference, but my middle son is very much a gifted brain, and we don't put labels on him or anything, but he is 12 years old and thinks about things that no 12-year-old should, or I mean, just, it's crazy, right? The amount of, I don't know how else to explain this, but he is a researcher and has to know why, and like all of the things. I have to Google a lot of things when I'm having conversations with him because I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, it helped him a lot with kind of just not having anxiety. Where I'm going with all of this, and I'm sorry I kind of got off track, is that our CBD, if you've used it the last few weeks, most likely you've noticed it's a little bit different than what we had before. I have noticed a lot of people asking me, like, why does this smell different and this and that? So the field was asking for terpenes. And if you don't know what terpenes are, I actually had to Google them because I did not know. And again, I'm new to CBD. This is something that I'm learning as well. So there probably is someone on this call that knows more than I do. So if I'm saying something wrong, by all means, type in the comments. But I was Googling and researching what terpenes actually are. And you'll also hear the word terpenoids, I believe is how it's pronounced. And that just means it's an oxygenated version of it. But this is what gives organic plants and things like that their smell and their taste. Now, when you're talking about CBD and terpenes, it does the same thing. But the reason that it is an important part of a CBD structure is because it's going to help with a lot of the medicinal benefits that CBD offers. So some terpenes will help with more anti-inflammatory properties. They'll help with more mood and things of that nature. So what we have done per the request of the field is we have added in, well, I shouldn't say added in, we've not taken out as many, we'll say that, of the terpenes that we were in the past. So you will notice that our CBD tincture, it does smell a little bit different than the previous one did. And the previous one, I don't think had any kind of smell. And it had a very kind of buttery taste. And I think that was the organic coconut oil that we use for our carrier oil. This still tastes the same in my opinion, but it does smell a little different. I have gotten amazing comments about the smell of it, and I've gotten not so amazing comments about the smell of it. I'm just being honest here, right? So it does have a little bit of a scent now. It's a very earthy, yeah, so I'm just reading some of the comments. Some people are saying they have noticed a difference in the smell, but they haven't noticed that it tasted different at all. And that's the same for me, and what I'm hearing kind of across the board is that it does smell a little bit different, but there's not, the taste is still the same because, again, we're still using organic coconut oil like we had in the past. Erin, I see, are you typing something? Anyway, so she's laughing at me. I knew something was coming from Erin. So it has a little bit of an earthy smell. It definitely smells very organic, earthy smell, yes. It smells very earthy, kind of, I don't know how else to explain it. It does have a little bit of a scent, we'll say that. And that again is because of the terpenes. Now, I wanted to go over a little bit. Okay, so if you're not familiar with CBD, you know, there have been other calls about this. And originally I was thinking, so someone said it smells like cannabis. I don't know, I'm not someone that really ever partaked in that, but I guess. So again, I don't know, but it does smell very earthy to me. They didn't change. Okay, so Jackie, they did not change our current CBD. Our CBD line is still, it's all the same that it used to be, right? It is organic, it is non-GMO, it is grown in the US. It is, you know, it's vegan certified, all the things that it was before, it still is, but we've just, per the request of the field, like an overwhelming response, have kept some of the terpenes in the product now. So that is the only difference that you'll see. And again, this is only going to benefit you. It's not going to change any of the results that you were having before. If anything, it's just going to enhance them more. Again, the terpenes they help with things like your mood and your memory, and they're just going to enhance, I guess, the experience that you were having with the CBD before. Okay. If it smells like the plant, just like any plant has a smell, it's what terpenes are. Yes. Okay. So I'm just kind of reading some of the comments. Yes. So all it is it's helping now. Sorry, a call coming in. Anyway, so back to where I was going with this. For those of you that, when there have been other calls about kind of the benefits of CBD and how you can use it and how you can start implementing it. So I encourage you to kind of go back through our SoundCloud app and listen to those. But I wanted to just touch again. There are two components to the industrial hemp, so to speak, is what we get our CBD from. There's the CBD and then there's the THC. The THC is the part of the plant that will give you the quote unquote high. And if you have listened to our founder on any of our calls, you'll oftentimes hear him say that we took the sin out of the bottle, which I think is hilarious, but it does make kind of sense, right? So there is no THC in our products. What you will notice now, and I have right here a printout of our new COA. If you go on our COA on our website, you'll see the COA for our products, just like we have for everything, right? But what you'll notice is, again, we are just doing much, I shouldn't say even much better, because I already thought we were kind of doing an amazing job. But again, the field was asking for some certain things that we didn't have. So we're listening to the field, which is what Navan does. And we kind of pride ourselves on that, right? And we now have, if you look through the COA, we are testing for pesticides, microbials, solvents, mycotoxins, metals, and any kind of foreign matter. So if you look through the COA, it's quite lengthy at this point, but you'll see like this, and I'm showing, I know this is only the audio that's uploaded, but so here's the pesticides, right? And there, I didn't even know there were this many pesticides, like holy moly, right? If you guys can see this on my screen, all of these, none detected, none detected, none detected. So this is showing that we're testing for herbicides and pesticides to prove that our product is 100% organic, it's non-GMO, all of that. Microbials, so here we're testing for things like E. coli and salmonella. Nobody wants that in their CBD product. Mycotoxins here, which is important because if you have, these are all really important. Because one of the things with CBD too is you'll find a lot of people will state things like it can grow mold and like all these things. I've heard all these concerns. We are proving that our product is the best of the best, and that none of those things you have to really worry about. And then our heavy metal testing too. So testing to make sure there's no arsenic, cadmium, lead, mercury, all of that in here. Again, with our daily detox, we're keeping these things out of our body. So why would you want that in your CBD and put it in your body? So this is just our new COA. It's on the website. I think it's phenomenal that we're going through so much testing to really kind of prove that our CBD is the best of the best out there on the market. A lot of companies do not go through all of this, or they will have testing. I've looked at a lot of COAs because people always want to compare their thing, right? If you are working your business, most likely you've talked to someone that's like, oh, well, I'm using a CBD from this company. Why is yours better? This is a very good way to show why ours is what it is. Again, we're not out here trying to reinvent the wheel or make anything, you know, special. We just have a very good, clean, organic product that's going to help you in so many ways, and there's no ick in it. So I would encourage you, as you're building your business, if you're talking to someone that thinks that theirs is better or wants to know why yours is better, is open to looking into it, ask them to print out their COA if they even have one, right? If you're getting products from, I don't know how to word this, if you're getting a CBD product from like the gas station or the hardware store or all of the other places I've seen CBD sold and it makes me cringe, there are no COAs for those things, at least that I've seen, right? So a COA is a certificate of analysis. It's a third-party testing, and it shows that our CBD doesn't have anything that you wouldn't want in your body in it, right? Another thing that I wanted to show you, I wanted to talk about what's like the amount of CBD that's actually in this bottle. So I'm going to talk about our gummies and our bath bombs real quick. Our gummies and our bath bombs and our products that have individual like pieces to them, like obviously our gummies have 30 gummies inside of the bottle. Those are tested and then they're retested after the gummies are made to be sure that each gummy has 25 milligrams like it states on the bottle, right? So each dose is going to have exactly 25 milligrams. And the reason for this is when you make a huge batch of CBD gummies, right, it's kind of all in one, I don't know the process, but I'm assuming it's all in one kind of like pot, like a big, I'm picturing like a pot on the stove. It's not how it's done, but a big batch of it. And then they're individually made into individual gummies. Well, what Navan wanted to be sure is that each gummy had exactly the amount that we were saying. A lot of companies do not do that. So like the bath bombs, for an example, if you're making a big batch of bath bombs and then you separate them into individual bath bombs, some of them may have 100 milligrams, some of them may have 50 milligrams, some of them may have 150 milligrams per bath bomb. We wanted to make sure that ours had what we stated that each one had. So in reference to the gummies, we test them after they're made to be sure that each one has the exact amount. With the CBD tincture, it's a little bit different. So we have, and you'll hear our VP, Paul, who's amazing. If you guys were at our event last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, you met him. He had the bow tie on, and he's phenomenal. But he always tells me that that's our promise. So when we say that we have, and I have a little bottle here, when we say that our bottle of tincture has 750 milligrams of CBD in the bottle, it's not an exact amount. When he says that's our promise, he means that that's the least amount that it will ever have. What I mean by that is if you look at the COA, you're going to see the mass, and this, you'll have to look at it and follow with me here, but it says It lists all of the different components to the CBD. And then over to the right, it says 830.738. That means in the bottle, there's 830.738 of CBD in the bottle. So this is over 100%. If you go to, there's an article explaining why they choose MTC. Okay, sorry, I was reading comments. There's over 100% of the CBD in the bottle of what our promise is, right? So we say that there's 750 milligrams in there, but if you look at the COA, it actually says there's 830.738. Each dose, which is about a dropper full, some of the droppers have lines on them, some of them don't. I didn't know if I was supposed to share this or not, but a lot of people have been asking, and I know that our CEO did mention this at our event. We were getting a lot of materials from China, and I believe our droppers were one of them, and we had to obviously stop that, right? So we have new droppers, they're made here in the US, whatever. So some of them you will see have the lines on them and some of them don't. I believe that we're kind of fading out of the ones that had the lines. I don't know if we'll get them back. I know a lot of people did like those because it had like the actual dosage on there. But if I'm being honest, like every time I've ever put the dropper in the bottle, squeeze the tube, let it come up, it's always kind of been the same amount unless I'm to the very bottom of my CBD bottle. But what I wanted to show you is that each dose should be 25, I shouldn't say should be, is about 25 milligrams, which is like one dropper full, right? But if you look on the COA, it actually says it's 29.231 milligrams. So again, this is just showing you that Navan is going above and beyond what we're even stating. So we're telling you that there's our promise is the least amount that will ever be in the bottle is 750, right? 750 milligrams in the bottle, but it's actually almost 100 more than that. It's 830.738. So I just wanted to show you this again, because as you're working your business and as you're talking to other people, most likely you're going to have other people that are like, well, my COA says this and whatnot. I have yet to see any other COA that shows that they have this much more CBD in the bottle than what's actually stated in there. So that's something I definitely wanted to share as well. And you can see down here, as you're looking at the COA, it'll show you the different components and how much there actually is. See where it says mass? I don't know if you guys can see that. So under where it says mass, you're going to see 29.213. That's the actual amount that's in each dose. But again, I don't believe it is like that. And maybe I need to talk to Paul a little bit more, but I know with our gummies and our bath bombs, they're actually retested to be sure that it's the exact amount per dose. So if you are using it for your children or something where you want to be sure that you're using the exact amount, like my kids use the gummies just because they like the way they taste. But I feel comfortable, again, as a nurse. I know that one of the reasons I kind of stayed away from CBD is because there was no exact dose. There wasn't an exact amount. People were like, oh, you take a little bit and see if you need a little more. And I was like, that doesn't sound like anything I want to be a part of. Just the, I guess, nurse brain in me. All right, wrapping up. Kyle, do you have anything to add? Do you want to, is there anything I missed that you think?
No, absolutely not. I think you're doing an amazing job. And as we all know, that I'm new to the CBD space as well, so it's always a continuous education for me. A lot of people are making some comments right now. If you want to just touch on this real quick, some people already know, but some people don't. But can you touch on the reason we use MCT?
Absolutely.
Or MTC, excuse me. See, I always get that mixed up. But some people are asking because they are asking in regards to, are we ever going to have a CBD product with a hemp seed carrier oil, things like that. And I will say this, guys, there is nothing that is not considered. Okay. I will tell you that there are a lot of things on the drawing board. There are a lot of considerations to take in. And what I'm going to advise anybody and everybody to do that has, I'm not going to say demands, but suggestions. Again, please send them to us. There's been a lot of talk lately over all sorts of different things. And guys, the biggest thing I can tell you to do is use your voice. We listen, just like changing to a true broad spectrum product, right? With the terpenes, etc. The reason we did that is because we listened to everybody's, suggestions and things like that. So when it comes to having something with a hemp seed carrier oil, like you guys are talking about, please make that suggestion. And one thing I want you guys to know, and I said this yesterday in a different group. What was it? Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. Oh no. Oh, you guys, we're new. We're brand new. And I promise you, we are not done, and we are not even close to being done. We do not have everything figured out. Our product line has not been solidified. You know, we will be expanding. We will be adding more. You know, I can promise you at some point, you know, things will change for the better. Absolutely. Will it make some people mad? Probably. You never know. Like, we're always putting things on the drawing board, making our company and our product line better and better for you guys. So I want you to be aware that, you know, another big request with our CBD line is flavors. Guys, we had flavors, just so you know. We had orange and we had berry. Like, it was our kind of our first stab into the flavors, and they were amazing. I'm going to tell you, I love the orange. But guess what? Nobody bought them. Nobody wanted them. so we stopped making them. Now, what's that mean? Well, that was then. But guys, a lot of people want flavors. I understand. Send those suggestions in. Please, 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 because I promise you, everything, any idea is not thrown away. And I mean that. If you saw the notebook and the files and the things that we have of actual legitimate ideas, I mean, guys, we would have 500 variations of products. It's crazy, but we pay attention and we listen. And what we start to do is compile a list at corporate and figure out, okay, you know, there is an overwhelmingly, I guess, prominent demand for this. We should really look into it, or we should go down that path. So anyway, Christy, I just wanted to throw that in there real quick. But if you could talk about the reason that we use that carrier oil and why we started there, that's the best way, I think, to let people know is this is where we started. Please, if you wouldn't mind, I think people would appreciate it.
Absolutely. So as you'll notice, right, and like Kyle was saying, the reason that I'm not even gonna say changes were made, but the reason that we're putting things like the terpenes and stuff in is because of the overwhelming request that we got, right? We don't know what you guys want unless you tell us. So that's definitely important. But the Navan does a lot of research, if you guys hadn't noticed. And there are other CBD companies out there that will say things like water soluble, or that, you know, their carrier oil is from hemp seed and things like that. So right now, the research that Navan has done states and shows that MTC oil, ours is derived from organic coconuts, actually helps the CBD stay in the body longer. So this, when you have a fat soluble carrier oil, this is going to help your cells absorb whatever it's carrying, right, better. And it's also going to help it last longer in the body. So I'm not bashing anyone else's product. That's not what this is. You guys know me. I'll never knock down anyone else's building to make mine look taller. But I'm just going to use the water soluble as an example. Water soluble CBD may absorb quickly into the body, and it's not even proven that it actually does absorb quicker, but it actually gets out of the body quicker. And I'm trying not to use nurse terms here. In the medical field, we'll call it half-life, meaning like the amount of the kind of peak and valley that you'll have this product in your system. So when you're talking about like a prescription medication, let's say, and again, I don't want to associate this with anything, but like, let's say a pain pill, right? When you're having a patient that has pain, we talk about these peaks and valleys where you want to make sure that you're using the right amount of medication at the right amount of time. That way you don't have somebody that's in a whole lot of pain, because it's much harder to bring it down at that point. Where I'm going with this, and I'm sorry for getting off track, is that the fact that MTC oil, when it's used as a carrier oil, it helps the CBD absorb into the body, but it also helps the body hold on to it and utilize it longer than other things. So again, I'm just using the water soluble as an example. That may absorb into your bloodstream quicker, but it also gets out of your bloodstream quicker. So it doesn't give you the long lasting effects, which means you're having to use it more often, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of different kind of carrier oils and things of that nature. Navan has done a lot of research. What we have found and what is available right now in the research that we've done shows that things like fat soluble carrier oils are what works best. So that is why we use that. That is why we are using it right now, because again, we always want the best of the best of the best. And that is what research shows. What else? I saw someone say something about an allergic, I don't know, I think I lost the comment, but yeah, I guess that's it. So again, I'm just gonna kind of reiterate CBD real quickly. There have been lots of other calls that we've done on CBD and the uses of them, but there is no THC still, and maybe I didn't touch on that. There is still no THC. In fact, if you look at total THC, none detected. So I know a lot of people, like the legal amount is, what is it, 0.03, I think. But if you look on our COA, you'll see ND, which is none detected. So we have taken, like our CEO says, the sin out of the bottle. So there's no THC in it. But the CBD that is left, it does help with motivation, mood, memory, pain, your pain sensation, all of those things. Lots of great benefits. And like I said, it just makes me feel like I'm living my best life. If you are not, if you want to do a little bit more research, and I don't want to get too technical on this, because again, it's something that I'm learning as well. And if you know anything about me, you know that until I know all of the things, I don't really like to coach on it a whole lot. So because I'm still learning as well, I won't get too much into this, but I encourage you guys to do some research yourself. Go to Google, right? Let it be your friend. And there's some, maybe false information out there, and just kind of use your best judgment as to how CBD can help you and your family, or help those that are around you. If you do not know, all of us have an endoid, I can't ever say this, an endocannabinoid system in our bodies, which help regulate things like our mood, our memory, our motivation in life. And when you're using a component like CBD, this is going to help enhance that, right? It's going to help you live your best life. And again, I know I keep using that term, but it is what it is, right? There's a chemical in our bodies that give you, how do I word this? When you get an A on a test, or when you are exercising and you hear that term like runner's high, right? Like that just feel good, like everything is good type of feeling. That's what CBD does into the body. So you actually have receptors in your body. This is not something, again, I hate to go back to my nurse brain, but this isn't like a pain pill or an anxiety pill or medicating your body to not feel a certain way. It's actually just enhancing what's already there. So as I'm learning about CBD, I'm loving it, and love sharing it with other people as well. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But again, there is so much information out there, just if you Google things. So with that being said, I will wrap things up if no one else. Full spectrum, it's not off the table. Oh, Kyle's responding to questions. Thank you, Kyle. I know your eyes usually don't work, especially first thing in the morning, so I'm glad that you're answering all these questions. Yeah, and as far as the flavors go, just if you want that, yeah, like just make recommendations. I have seen some things though, and I wanted to just point this out and keep this in mind. I have seen bacon flavored and like just some really off the wall things. I will tell you, and I hope that we don't ever have a bacon flavored CBD, and because there's nothing natural about that. And what you'll notice about Navan is we use very good, clean ingredients. So I can't imagine we'll ever have anything that has anything like that. But if you would like something, and again, I think this really kind of goes back to the terpenes. There are different kinds of citrus flavored, different ways that you can make the CBD taste and smell differently. I unfortunately did not get any of the orange CBD. Thanks, Kyle. But I know he loved it, and a lot of people raved about it too. So if it's something that you want, by all means, like send those requests in. My pleasure, Erin. All right, does anyone else have any questions? If not, I will kind of wrap this up. I know we don't usually open it for questions, but okay. Have an amazing Wednesday. I'll talk to you guys all soon. See you Friday for our comp plan training, which is very important. I wanted to touch on this as well. I know that we always stress that on Fridays we should get our new people on. Kyle, when did we start this? January 1st? Like we started doing these calls in the beginning of the year?
I think so. I think that's when we kind of opened up everything. Yeah.
I'm on every single Friday. And when I'm talking to people about our comp plan, I sound like Kyle, right? And I think that that's important as we're using verbiage. It was yesterday, I was in a conversation and I was explaining to someone pack volume and that kind of thing. And as I was explaining it, I felt like I could hear Kyle in my head saying the things that I hear him say every Friday. And it was easier for me to be able to explain that, because if you guys know me, I'm not a numbers person. I am not a comp plan person. I can talk to you about why you need this company in your life and how it's going to help you and that kind of thing, but numbers aren't really my gig. But because I'm hearing him every single Friday, the verbiage that I'm using, and as I'm explaining our comp plan, it sounds just like he does.
I love it. I love it.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Talk to you guys
soon. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thanks, Christy.